first and foremost, Black Hammer has 4 points of unity. One being that colonized people need dictatorship over our land, lives, labor, and resources. Point number 2 being that all colonized people are equal, no matter your race, your gender, your sexuality, or your religion. Like, I don't care what God you pray to or what ancestor you pray to. So we have colonized people in this organization who are Jewish. We have African people who are Jewish. We have Palestinian people who are Jewish. We have indigenous people who are Jewish. We have no problem with Judaism. Judaism comes from Africa. I'm a full African. It came from me, sis. What we have a problem with is white people. What we have a problem with white people, which leads us to point number 3, that we believe that all of the problems of colonized people come from colonialism, which is an alien nation having dictatorship over your land, lives, labor, and resources, which we are under from white power, capitalism, imperialism, in the form of Europeans, and neo-colonialism. Negro sellouts like Barack Hussein Obama, Kamala Harris, and so many other sellout Negroes that lick at the boot of white power and are servitude to white power. They are a problem too. And so white Jewish people fall under colonizers. They are white people, and they are a terror with other white people against colonized people in the form of Isn'treal in Palestine, which is a white settler, colonial, violent, nationalist, military state, which is just there to dominate and claim the resources of oil of colonized people for white America and Europeans. And they are killing indigenous people of Palestine and calling and saying a two-state, there's no two-state resolution. There's Palestine from the river to the sea. Get out isn't real. And the same with white people in Brooklyn who terrorize African people. Me, myself, born in Brooklyn. My mother had to leave in the 90s because of the terror of white Jews there. So we have a problem with them being white and colonizers. And this same anti-Semitic nonsense is always put on the burden of Black people who are not oppressors. We do not get resources from any other people, including our own darn selves. But Malcolm X was called an anti-Semitic. James Baldwin was called an anti-Semitic. So now that Black Hammer is being called an anti-Semitic, we take that as a claim of honor, because it's people who say we are going to speak against white power, no matter if it has a yarmulke, no matter if it's a trans white person, a white person in a wheelchair, a white person with ADD. A white person is a white, you are a colonizer is a colonizer, a parasite is a parasite. Doesn't matter if you're a white woman, a white queer, or any of those kinds of things, or a white Jew. And white Jews owe reparations to African and colonized people around the world, just like white people. And the whole thing about Anne Frank is you want us to cry over this little white girl. But I don't know one name of an African girl that was on one of those slave ships that died. I don't know one name of the indigenous girls that died from the genocide of 200 million people that I stand on the ground right now. Not one of their names. But I know about Anne Frank and her book that her daddy co-wrote. I know about that. I know about that because of World War II. And World War II was nothing but a fight of 2 sectors of the white ruling class over the resources of African colonized nations around the world. And the Holocaust was nothing but white-on-white crime. And that ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with colonized people. It ain't got nothing to do with us. And we're not shedding one tear for your children, because you shed not one tear for our children. Land back. You ask the slave what the slave thinks about master's child, and you want a kind comment? No. No. Not here. Not ever again. And that's why we are here in front of this Martin Luther King statue. Because this is the advancement of the struggle for liberation of African and colonized people. This is what it sounds like. This is what it looks like. And it don't give a damn about your damn parasite children, your parasite babies. Ask the Haitians what they did to the white babies and white children when they had to be free. Land back. Overturn that system. And then regain your humanity. Join the Reparations Core and pay reparations and regain your humanity. But your sob stories don't make me cry. Land back. SG, would you like to say something about this?
Land back, and I think right now is a perfect instance to understand why we call white Jews colonizers. Look at the settlements that they are completely destroying in Palestine right now under brutal repression. It is Ramadan right now, and the Israeli police force, white Jewish people, are going into mosques and shooting off flashbangs and tear gas and forcing Palestinians out of their homes. Not everyone can participate in that. It's only white people who can participate in colonialism and enact in a genocide, enact a genocide. That is what is happening right now in Palestine. It is all about a colonial relationship in the Middle East. Israel is there as a force to collect oil from the other Arab nations, and it is starting in Palestine. There has never been a more clear time that shows white Jews have assimilated into white power and act white and are white at the expense of other colonized people. They are literally massacring Palestinians as we speak. There has never been a more clear and obvious sign that Jews, white Jews from Europe, are white and are participating in the colonialism of Palestinians, not just here in Palestine, but also in Harlem, in Brooklyn, and in so many other communities. White Jews have a militant police force that controls colonized people within cities. Land back.